All right, so everybody, hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Welcome to Rams Talk. We're going to just give you a brief review of what happened this past Sunday. Of course, it was a tough loss for your Los Angeles Rams, going down at the hands of the Carolina Panthers, uh, 31-28. Let's go ahead and get started here. So here's some stats for the Rams here. Pretty good stats here. Matthew Stafford went 18 to 43 for 243, two touchdowns, NFL leading 28 touchdowns this season, but he had two interceptions and one fumble. First time he's had turnovers um, since the Eagles game, which we'll talk about that. Running back Blake Corum, who came in for Kyron Williams, who left with an injury, 7 rushes, 81 yards, a touchdown. Williams had 13 rushes, 72 yards. Xavier Smith, his first game of the season, 3 catches, 82 yards. Puka Nacua, 6 catches, 72 yards, including that big one-handed catch that we all saw on the highlights. Devontae Adams, he had 4 catches for 58 yards, 2 touchdowns. His league leading 14 touchdowns, which is leading in the NFL. And also tight end Kobe Parkinson had played also 4 receptions for 27 yards. Let's take a look at the defensive stats here. The Rams, you see Kitchens with 6 tackles, Byron Young, 5 tackles, 3 assists, Curl, 4 tackles, Jared Verse, 3 tackles, an assist, Nate Landman, 3 tackles, 5 assists, Omar Spites, 3 tackles, 4 assists. Braden Fisk had the only sack of the game for the Rams, which was a very disappointing performance there by this defense, which we'll talk about in a moment. So let's talk about the key points for the Rams here. Um, so here we have it. The defense was blown away with the way they played. As we know, in the 6 game win streak, they only allowed 110 yards per game. That was during the 6 wins. On Sunday against the Panthers, they allowed a season high 164 yards rushing. Look, that cannot be done no matter how good you are on defense. You just cannot win a game when you're giving up a lot of rushing yards, as we've seen against the Panthers. We talked about Stafford. He committed 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble. And keep in mind, this was the first time in a long time since this happened. The last time he had a multi-interception game that was back in 2022. He was coming into the game with 2 interceptions, leading the league in interceptions less thrown. He had 2, but Sunday he had 2 more, so he has 4 on the year. But it's the first time he had interceptions since the loss to the Eagles in week 6. Panthers converted 2 fourth down conversions. There was 2 times that the Panthers went for it on fourth down, and those 2 big plays by Bryce Young led into touchdowns. A lot of missed coverage there, miscommunication. The receivers got past the defenders. It was just pretty much a bad day in the office for the Rams defense, as we hope that they're able to rebound and get it back together here in the next game as they head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals in the NFC West matchup. You see right here, Stafford had one of those fumbles. Again, the costly one was fourth down with 2 minutes left, 2 minutes, 28 seconds left. Fumbled it on fourth down. Rams never got the ball back. So that's what really did the man. It was a back and forth matchup. I mean, the offense played well. They actually played really good. Puka came out the ball. The receivers came. Xavier Smith had his first, game in action. So a lot of good things happened there on offense, but the defense was just pretty much beaten up out there as we move along here. So we talk about the the key points, but I want to get you reactions to Coach McVay. This is what he said after the game. This was his press conference. It says, here's one of the quotes. He says, I don't believe we took this group lightly. I don't believe that for a second. This is the NFL. Of course, many thought that the Rams took the Panthers for light. We just don't know what happened there. Many can say they took it lightly, they underestimated them, or they just thought it was a donut game. Maybe they were looking ahead to the Cardinals, or maybe they're looking ahead to the Seahawks or whatever team they were playing next, the Lions. But as they always say in the business, that is why they play the game. Also, you mentioned about the Panthers, and here's his quote: "They did a great job making plays. They made plays. Of course, they made plays. The two fourth down conversions on defense, the pick six, another pick, the two fumbles, as I mentioned, and then just, the running game was just crazy. And then just pretty much the Rams got exposed on defense. And then here's another quote he said after the game was that the Panthers made critical plays. And what I mean critical plays is the last drive when it was third down and 5. The Rams were on the verge of getting the ball back. They just needed one stop, but Bryce Young helped convert that third down, and it sealed the deal. Rams didn't have any timeouts left. As you said, right, as you mentioned, the quotes here, they were able to get that first down, and McVay actually had the mentality that he was going to get the ball back. So that was very, very interesting there. Very interesting scenario there, what he said. He also gave them credit. They executed on fourth down. Again, the two fourth downs, that gave them the score. Also, the turnovers. Talk about the two interceptions, the fumble. And he even said it as a team, they just didn't execute well. They did not execute well on defense. Offense, I think they played great. We saw a good game from the running game. We saw a good game from the receivers. Not much out of the tight end position, but that tight end position is still being evaluated. Of course, Tyler Higbee plays on IR with a knee injury. Don't know his status. Witherspoon is off IR. So is Tutu Atwell, but still don't know if they'll play. They didn't play this game, but hopefully they'll be able to play this week against the Cardinals. We haven't seen Tutu Atwell since the Colts game. And also, we want to bring you the NFC playoff picture right now as of today. As you see, the Bears, with their win on Black Friday against the Cardinals, the Eagles, they take the top spot because they have a better record in the conference than the Rams do. Now, the Rams and the Seahawks are tied for first place in the NFC West. But keep in mind, they just played a couple weeks ago, and the Rams beat the Seahawks. So by the head of that virtual victory, the Rams currently own the tiebreaker until these two teams play again. They will play again near the end of the regular season, which could decide the NFC West. But then again, the team highlighted in red, the San Francisco 49ers, they're the last team. Now, if the playoffs started today, the Rams will play the 49ers in the wild card round. Chicago will have home field advantage. And Chicago has been one of the sleepiest teams in the NFL this season. They're winning games. This team's not being talked about enough. Williams, in his second year, has developed and he's played well, and this team is playing good football. Expect them. They still have to play the Packers, though. They haven't played the Packers yet. We'll have to see how those two matchup goes. Maybe the Rams could still get it, but who knows? But as you see, it's pretty tight here for that number one seed. The Eagles right now have a one-game lead, but then again, keep in mind, they do own the head-to-head breaker with the Rams because the Eagles beat the Rams on the last-second field goal. Tampa Bay, you see they're climbing up there. Rams beat Tampa Bay, so that'll be if they tie, it'll go to the Rams. So it's going to be very, very interesting as we get into the last few weeks here of the regular season. Again, the NFC West is tight. Rams and Seahawks tied for first. You've got the Niners right behind you within the game, and then the Cardinals, who always give the Rams a hard time no matter what division team is in last place. So that'll do it for this edition of Rams Talk. Just tune in next week or next episode. We'll break down the Cardinals against the Rams. Again, this will be in Arizona, a pivotal game for the Rams as they try to get another win before they come home to take on the Detroit Lions. So their schedule is getting a little thinner, but a little easier. Let's hope so. Again, thank you for watching today. We hope you had a great holiday. Christmas is around our corner. Hopefully, you get your presents done. But remember one thing, subscribe to this page for updates for anything we'll provide to you here on the Rams Show. Again, you guys know who I am. I am the E. We'll hope to have Jay back soon. You guys have a great day. If you missed this episode, you can go on our YouTube page, subscribe, and always remember, whose house? Rams house. We'll see you guys next time.